Okay, so did you want Skippy with us today, or where you at on that? You forgot about Skippy?
I just try not to think about Skippy.
Okay, well, we'll leave Skippy in case. We'll leave him in the back, and if we need Skippy, we'll summons him. Is that okay?
I mean, Skippy's in your hand, not mine. So whatever you do, you do.
So if I give you control of Skippy, will he be here?
I don't think so, but,
Okay. So, trucking. I've always talked about trucking.
See, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for trucking.
For trucking.
For trucking.
A lot going on in trucking.
There has been.
Interesting couple things that I read here. I was just trying to figure out where to start. Blah, blah, blah. I actually made a couple posts about this one subject. I'll bring it up real quick. If you drove for a trucking company that's based in Illinois from 2008 all the way through 2024, that's a lot of years.
It is.
That's
like 12?
like 16 years or something like that. If you think about it. So, yeah, it's like 16. So if you drove for any of those companies, and here's the catch. Two catches. One, they had an inward-facing camera in your truck. And two, they did not get consent from you. You did not give them consent. You did not sign a consent stating that you will allow them to have that camera in your truck. If you were part of any trucking company, Illinois-based, they had to have their main terminal there. Or I guess that's maybe where they have to buy their plates. Anyways, it says based. You might be entitled to a lawsuit.
So something happened where someone in Illinois filed a suit against?
Well, yeah, there was a settlement. There was a couple suits in the last couple of years, and one just reached a settlement, which is, a nice chunk of change. But in fact, from what I hear is probably should have went to court, but he didn't. He settled out of court. Right. But anyways, think about this. It's been a long argument, a long time. A lot of drivers say, look, I won't drive for any company that has a camera watching me. Me personally, I don't think I would either.
See, I'm one of those persons that I guess I'd rather have myself protected because there's so many people out there that like to blame the trucker. And I know myself.
Well, hold on a second.
Okay.
We're talking about
inward facing.
Yeah, inward facing.
Yeah.
Like watching you drive, watching you, like if you, do anything wrong, which I see what you're saying. It can protect you also as long as you're.
To show that you're not that you're paying attention, that you weren't on your phone, that you weren't doing something wrong. Because here's the thing. As far as I know, with a lot of the inward facing cameras, while you're driving, they don't activate unless it hits like, a jerky movement, and then it would record like the previous so many like minute or two to see what you were doing right before that braking happened. It's not like it's a continuous, because nobody wants to have a continuous recording. For one, a continuous recording all the time going up on a cloud or some kind of database gets really expensive for storage, and they're not going to do that. There's something that's going to activate that recording, and it's usually if there's like a jerky movement with the steering or a quick movement with the brakes. And what it does is it just goes back to previous, like a minute, and then records up into so long after the incident, so that it will get like maybe a 3-minute recording of what happened during that time frame.
So they say. I've heard stories. Now, are they conspiracy theories and stories from truckers?
Could be.
It could be. Does the office have, ability to click view? We have cameras.
Yeah, I'm sure they can click view where they're watching you, but it's not recorded. It's alive. Those aren't usually recorded.
Well, I mean, look, let's just play devil's advocate for a second.
Ooh, you mean little man.
All right. I'm a pervert and I'm a dispatcher.
Okay.
I'm a night dispatcher. I'm the only one there.
If my truck's parked, I'm covering that camera.
I'm a pervert. You don't know I'm a pervert, though, because
Doesn't
you
matter.
think that those cameras only come on when there's impact or something happens. Now, pervert dispatcher Troy decides, let me see if Ruthann might be changing.
Are you going to do the Dr. Giggle?
No, but seriously, maybe I want to, just for the heck of it, take a little peeky peek. I'm just saying.
You do that now.
Well, I'm just saying though, look, to me, I don't find it comfortable. Put it this way. How would you like it if the government, right, started saying, okay, a new law. We're going to put cameras in everybody's house and we're going to watch you from now on. Everybody's getting watched. That's almost what it's like as a truck driver, in one of these trucks going down the road.
See, but here's the thing. If my tractor is parked, even though my theory is that, it's not going to record unless there's an impact jerky movement or something to activate it, doesn't mean that I'm going to shut my tractor down and leave that camera just going. I'm going to cover that at night. It's going to have its own little beanie I'm going to be putting over top of it every single night. And, most of the times when it comes to being in the tractor, you're pulling the curtain and everything. So no one's going to see me if I'm not driving. If I'm driving, then no, I wouldn't appreciate creepy dispatcher Troy watching me, but I'm still going to.
So if I was the creepy dispatcher, right, working for company A and a little hottie like Ruthann was there, I might even put out a memo, no covering the camera, and all curtains must be open at all times so we know you're safe. And also, I would actually pick the attire.
Privacy.
What you have to wear to bed. Pervert Troy. No, I'm just saying. But I just, to me, just sitting in my truck at night, right? Mm-hmm. Thinking, I wonder if. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
that would just make me uncomfortable. You should not have to feel uncomfortable in your own truck.
I agree. You shouldn't, and each person feels differently.
So anyways, if you have driven from 2008 to 2024, I'm not sure which month it stopped. Mm-hmm. Okay. If you did, and they said, especially after 2019, even they ruled that even if no harm ever came from it, you know what I mean? Like this, for any reason at all, if you were part of this, you can sue. You actually can sue. Now, how much you're going to get and all this other stuff, you might look in to see if there's a class action going. Because now that TalkCDL's put it out there, I guarantee you there's going to be people checking to see what they can do with some of these companies. Now, the question is, okay, most truck drivers, maybe worked for, a company for a month or 2 months and they had cameras. Well, okay, I can't really afford a lawyer. Well, maybe there's 50 other guys that are wanting to sue. You guys all go in together and you get something. I'm just saying you have the right. Truckers have that right to sue if that's the case, because you know why? It goes against the law. It's called the BIPA law. Yeah, exactly. It's
so it's basically just kind of like summarize it for me. If you didn't give permission for them to,
if you didn't sign a consent
for them to be, so if when you're in the orientation and they're giving you all that paperwork, you have to make sure that none of those paperworks that they gave you was a consent form for them to have an inward facing camera. Is that right?
Right. See, that's the other thing. And I'm glad you bring that up, because you guys might think you never signed anything, right? And, you know, in orientations are notorious for signing 5,000 papers.
Mm-hmm. You could have gave your right kidney out to anyone.
Right. You might have signed it and not even known it.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would, you want to check into it if you're a guy that's looking to, get involved in something like this, and then again, maybe you just want to let it pass. It's up to you guys. But, why not at least, this is our duty to let people know what's out there in trucking. The law is called the BIPA, B-I-P-A. It's called the Biometric Information Privacy Act.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a right to privacy from 2008 up in a truck. Or actually, it's not just trucks. Like if you worked in an office somewhere in Illinois, if you worked anywhere, if you didn't sign a consent. So there may be somebody listening right now going, well, no, I never drove a truck, but I had cameras watching me in the office. Well, if you didn't sign a consent, just look it up. It's not just for truckers, but because we're all about trucking, we're telling truckers.
Right.
So, but this is just the state of Illinois. I don't know if other states have laws. There may be. And most trucking companies, I would tell you, cover their ass. The ones that have like a safety department.
Right. Your upstanding ones usually do.
But we know there's thousands and thousands and thousands of trucking companies in that Chicago area. And we know there's a lot of little companies. And we know there's a lot that don't run legally to begin with.
Right.
They don't run legally to begin with. So I highly doubt a lot of them took care of their paperwork legally either. So I would say, drivers, check it out. See what you think. Let us know. Write in. And people will. So let us know how it's going. And moving on.
Moving on.
Want to take a quick break?
That would be good.
All right.
Hey drivers, I have a question for you. Are you still searching load boards? Are you still booking your own loads? If you answered yes, then I have another question for you. How would you like to find loads faster and easier just by saying these words? Hey Bubba. Introducing Hey Bubba, the most advanced technology in AI dispatching today. No more searching different load boards, no more booking your own loads, no more making phone calls, no more negotiating your own rates. Bubba does it all. And it all starts with Hey Bubba. So if you want the most powerful AI dispatching tool known to man today, head on over to bubba.ai and download your free version of Hey Bubba today. Again, go to bubba.ai and get your free download today. Truck Parking Club is a network of instantly reservable daily and monthly truck parking locations throughout the U.S. Truck Parking Club helps connect truckers to truck parking locations throughout the U.S. via truckparkingclub.com. Our networks is made up of property owners that have locations adequate for truck parking to list on the platform. This includes trucking companies, storage companies, CDL schools, trailer leasing companies, real estate investors, truck parking operators, and more. Go to truckparkingclub.com today. Attention all trucking companies that have 5 trucks or more. Listen to this message. You are required to keep up to date on all driver records, including driver maintenance, equipment maintenance, ELDs, drug consortium, and all updated paperwork that DOT demands of you. I'd like to introduce to you Wide Open Road Compliance, LLC. Wide Open Road understands how easy it is to fall behind on paperwork and get bogged down. We understand that you would like to do what you do best, and that's running your company. So let Wide Open Road take over and manage all your compliance paperwork. For a very low and very affordable cost, Wide Open Road Compliance LLC can give you peace of mind and take over all of your DOT compliant paperwork today. All calls are kept confidential. Call or text 859-912-0017. That's 859-912-0017. We're not here to judge you. We're here to help you. Call today.
Attention trucking companies and truck drivers. If you need help with cash flow, we've got help on the way. Turn to Tab Bank, the bank that knows trucking. Tab Bank has been in the business of helping truck drivers and trucking companies with their cash flow needs for 25 years. It's just that simple. It's what they do, but they don't stop there. Tab Bank helps grow your business with their invoice, factoring, and banking services. What a plus that is. Before you book your next load, play it safe and contact Tab Bank to get their help with your factoring needs. Tab Bank helps determine the credit worthiness of your customers as well as billing and collection efforts on invoices that you factor with them. Let the experts at Tab Bank get you cash quickly for the loads you deliver. Again, it's what they do. Visit tabbank.com/TalkCDL to learn more. That's tabbank.com/TalkCDL. Tab Bank member FDIC.
Okay, so here's something else that's interesting enough. And this really rips me up when I hear this. I'm glad for the truck driver. It's basically a trucking company in Fort Worth, Texas, was forced to hire a driver back and pay him back pay. Now, why did they fire him? Because he reported something unsafe. Right. Here, let's just listen to this. It says a Fort Worth-based trucking company must rehire and pay a truck driver who was terminated for raising safety concerns, federal officials say. So here's a guy raised something that was unsafe. Now, we know somebody right now that's going through that, right? Where he was told he had to report safety issues and there was a big stink. We won't bring it up because there's a lawsuit going on with him. But here's a company, right? It says on January 8th, 2026, the U.S. Department of Labor announced that Texas trucking company Balkan, B-A-L-K-A-N, Balkan Express LLC must reinstate and compensate a worker who was terminated after reporting safety concerns. Balkan Express was ordered by the DOL, which is the Department of Labor, Occupational Safety Health Administration, which is OSHA, to pay the fired driver back wages, interest, compensatory, and punitive damages totaling more than $100,000.
What did it say? Fire driver?
They fired him.
Oh, fired driver.
Fired,
okay, I
a fired driver.
I thought you said something different.
Maybe,
I was always trying to figure it out.
Maybe I mispronounced it. I don't know.
No, it's probably just me.
Which is fine. So anyways, officials say that terminating the truck driver for commercial motor vehicle safety complaints was a violation of the Surface Transportation Assistance Act, STAA, which is really crazy. It's like, okay, you're a truck driver in one of the most unsafe, dangerous jobs in the world, right? And people are trying to clean it up. And because I don't know what the safety concerns are, but here's my guess. Maybe brake problems, maybe not, because I've talked to a million drivers that tell me they were driving on unsafe tires and their bosses would never get, the tires. These are common things, right? Maybe forcing drivers to drive, over on hours, just something that's unsafe, maybe something to do with the vehicle, whatever the case is, right? Now, look, you go ahead and you report it, right? And I don't know, I think it doesn't, let me see if it says he reported it to the company or reported the company. Let me see. It says the identity of the truck driver was not released because the DOL does not release names in whistleblower cases. The STAA protects workers from the retaliation by employers for filing complaints about violation of the commercial motor vehicle safety or security regulation. The STAA also protects workers who refuse to operate a commercial vehicle that they believe to be unsafe, wink, wink, or in violation of safety regulations. So remember last year we gave out the number for reporting this? I wonder.
Oh, it would be really nice if he actually did something and, this happened.
Well, when we gave out that number, right? And you know what? I'll dig it out again and we'll report it again. But we gave out that number last year. And these people, the FMCSA, the number for reporting anything safety concern, when you call that number and leave your name, you better be prepared because they're calling you back fast.
Right. They investigate it.
Right. And they go into action fast. And like a couple drivers wrote in and said, hey, I did it. And yeah, man, they were right on it, you know? So I don't know if this was one of them. I don't know. I don't know. You know, look, bottom line is this, you know, a truck driver should not only feel weird about being in his truck with inward facing cameras. He should also not have to feel unsafe and being bullied by his own company. You know what I mean? Where he's working. If you're an unsafe trucking company, okay, get your ass safe.
Well, I mean, look at it this way. When you do inspections now, like when the DOT pulls you over, the first thing that's going to happen is it's going against your PSP for anything that's faulty because you're supposed to be doing your pre-trip. Well, if you're doing your pre-trip and your post-trip and you're coming up with stuff that's a safety hazard, whether it's your tires, your brakes, any kind of hoses, anything at all, they're supposed to fix that because it's going against you. So why should you take their pill? That's you saying, okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take all these fines and they're just going to be my responsibility, even though it's not my equipment. That's not right. Why should you take the responsibility of the person that's supposed to be taking care of that equipment? It's not your responsibility.
I've got the number right here. Once again, on TalkCDL, you heard this number to report FMCSA safety issues. Call 888-DOT-SAFET, S-A-F-T, or 888-368-7238. That's 888-368-7238, or use the online complaint system for issues like unsafe trucks or moving company problems, but call 911 first for immediate safety emergencies, like if something's really bad going on. But they said call that number, and when you call that number, be prepared to leave details. A lot of times it's going to be recording. You're going to leave your name, you're going to leave what's going on, and they are going to call you back. They don't miss calling you back. I promise you that. I know this because I know a guy that works for a mid-sized trucking company that has used this number several times because of drivers threatening. So drivers, you got to know this also. This kind of goes both ways, right? Where a driver or actually, you know what he did? I apologize. He has called in about companies that were unsafe, that drivers told him about. So you've got to know this, that if you got a company that, and look, some people go, oh, you're a rat for telling on people. Dude, you know what? I'd rather be a rat and have good tire treads because people were forced to buy good wheels or brakes, or maybe somebody lives because they're forced to make sure that their trucks are safe on the road.
Well, I'd rather be a rat than have my PSP come back with a nasty inspection because I didn't want to open my mouth.
Great point. There you go, drivers. Again, I'm going to give you the number one more time, and you guys can call it. And listen, don't go calling it for I don't know, a paper cut or something stupid. 888-368-7238. That's to report to the FMCSA any unsafe companies, unsafe drivers, unsafe anything, any illegal activities that you know of in trucking going on. You know of a trucking company that, is hiring illegals. Whatever the case is, you can report it there, and I promise you they are investigating it 100%.
My little 3 cents in, I would also document, take pictures with your phone of, if you're saying about the tires, if you're saying about some hoses and, anything at all, document it also. Don't just call. Take some document, even if it's paperwork. Take pictures of the paperwork just to protect yourself. Yeah,
cover your own ass, for like Ruthann saying, for the simple reason there's a good chance you may get fired for reporting them, just like this driver did. I'm sure that there's other drivers that have been fired that never push the issue. They've been fired and they're like, you know what, screw it. If you want to fire me, and get down the road and take another job and not worry about it. Well, this guy didn't sit down and take the BS by the trucking company. Moving on.
Moving on.
All right, Ruth Ann, got anything you want to talk about? I got something else.
Well, let's hear it.
Interesting. Sean Duffy, the Secretary of Transportation, he's quoted as saying today, I just watched him, he said, I also think we have to take a look at shippers that load these rigs. And what he's saying is he feels that the shippers have enough interaction with truck drivers to know if a truck driver speaks English or not. And he said they should be held responsible, have responsibility to say, no, we're not going to load a truck with a driver that does not speak English in the United States of America. If you can't speak English, Duffy's now wanting to put responsibility on the actual shipper themselves. So shippers, beware. You're now on the radar.
That would be great because, if you can't speak English and communicate with the load that you're getting with that shipper on how it's loaded, paperwork, all that other stuff, that would help take some of the extra weight off of the other people's shoulders that take care of, the paperwork as far as like DOT or whoever, you know what I mean? The only thing is if the shipper has someone working in their office that they use to help break that gap.
Wait, say that again?
Like if a shipper, has someone that speaks the language and just helps with that communication and covers that gap of being able to understand whether or not they are, the paperwork's fine or whatever. So they're not going to go and sit there and report a driver that can't speak any English when they have someone already helping them in that office with that gap.
It's funny. I forgot a driver sent us some stuff the other day. It's weird that we're talking about this today. So I won't mention this guy's name. He sent me a thing. It says, go to Facebook page Air Force AMN /NCO SNCO and look for the post that was shared from Twitter about a driver looking for someone that could drive his truck onto Luke Air Force Base. Shared the page, but was posted by somebody named Daniel. Sorry, but the message board wouldn't pull, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So anyway, he sent me the post. He said, if I told you there's a non-U.S. citizen truck driver hauling military freight who isn't cleared to enter military bases, so they pay another driver to complete the delivery. I can't even talk. So what they're doing is some of these guys that are illegal drivers, right, are picking up loads. The shipper's giving them the load, but then when they get to the military base, they aren't authorized to go on. They can't even speak English. So they got to go and advertise real quick for somebody that's willing to come, an American driver, jump in his truck and then run it in for him with the paperwork.
That's so illegal in so many ways.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's crazy though. I don't know if Duffy knows that. Duffy, if you're listening to TalkCDL, I bet he does. But anyways, if you're listening to TalkCDL, check that out. So you won't not only have, and I'm not going to whip out shipper names, but you not only have shippers that are just saying, okay, here, just get this load going. We don't care. And you got receivers taking it and blah, 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 right? Now you've got military, according to this guy sending us stuff, right? Taking military loads, and I don't know what's in those trailers, right? But they're picking them up, and then they're taking them to the base, and then they're finding somebody legal to take them in. But the illegal guy's running the military freight across country, and then the last, 1 mile, handing it off to somebody else. Kind of weird, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, drivers, if you know anything about this, let us know. We'd sure like to know also. Maybe I should send that over to Louie over at OIDA. Because he's always in Washington.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, moving on. How much time we have? Oh, it's funny. I was looking at, speaking of all this stuff, since we were on the illegal thing again here, and look, I want people to know we're not putting illegals down. I mean, if you're illegal, you shouldn't be here, and you should definitely not be running in a CDL. But this is what's funny. Again, Sean Duffy is okay, not Sean Duffy, but I looked up the states that are losing their funding because of giving out non-domicile CDLs illegally.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're not vetting these guys. California, they just literally held like $160 million on these guys because of I think it's like 17,000 non-domicile CDL holders,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I looked it up. I'm like, I wonder how many other states are doing this. So it says Duffy revealed on Thursday that 54% of North Carolina's non-domicile CDLs were issued to foreign nationals reviewed by federal officials were issued illegally. So over half of the non-domicile CDLs that came out of North Carolina, they're saying were done illegally. Recent federal investigations, particularly by the Trump administration, US DOT, have targeted states like California, New York, North Carolina, Minnesota. You ready for this? Pennsylvania, Colorado, South Dakota, Texas, and Washington for illegally issuing non-domicile commercial driver's licenses to foreign nationals without proper vetting or documentation of lawful presence, leading to threats of withheld federal funding unless corrected. These actions stem from audits revealing widespread failures to comply with federal regulations, with California facing significant penalties for not revoking thousands of non-compliant licenses by January of 2026 deadline, according to the link. Now, so it says national audit launches by the US DOT exposing compliance failures. Funding withholds, the FMCSA withholding millions in highway funds from states like California, Minnesota, non-compliance. Look, bottom line is this, okay? I don't understand why these states, the only thing that I could figure out, this went on during COVID. This was when all these guys were issued all these thousands and thousands of licenses, when a lot of truckers were at home because of the COVID. So they brought in these foreign guys, just hoarding them in to haul our freight. And now here we are, everybody's back to work. American truck drivers should not have to compete with people that don't even have a vetted, correct license. Our drivers should not have to compete for jobs with these guys at all. Bottom line. I'm sorry, guys. You're a human being. I get it. But if you're not here legally, you're messing everything up in the United States. It should never have been like this, ever.
I'm going to tell you something. And any woman that had to go through certain things, like a married woman, basically. You see, when I went to get my license, when we moved to Florida, and I went to go and get my license transferred over and then get it renewed, I had to go through a large process to verify who I was. And then in the state of Florida, and now with many of the other states, because Florida was one with the star that it started sooner than some of the other ones, you had to show 3 pieces. I think it was 3 pieces of
identification.
No, address to prove your address. So like with our address, I had to show my name with the address on a bill or something to show that it was something that was not just your standard junk mail. So our electric bill with my name on it, I had to show that. Car insurance with my name on it and the addresses. I had to show that. I couldn't just use it for little stuff. It had to be major bills, with the address that we're living at so that I could prove that it was me. Now, that was when we went and when I helped Joan get her license and did that stuff. I had to do the same exact stuff. You have to show your marriage stuff. You have to show like that my name was different. I had to show my addresses. Why is it that I would have to go through all of that?
Your point being, you're an American citizen.
Exactly.
And you're getting, like you said, just a regular marriage license is like jumping through fire.
Right.
They make you do all this crazy stuff,
yeah.
But then they just hoard people in through the country.
Exactly.
And hand them literally some of these guys were getting housing, getting a check, getting free health insurance. And then obviously, like we're dealing with here, getting a CDL without going through the proper channels. And here you are, born in this country, and you have to like just about, give a pint of blood out of your body just to get, your marriage license transferred from Pennsylvania to Florida.
I had to show my marriage license because of my last name being different than my birth name, because you're showing your birth certificate and all of that.
Right.
So why is it that I have to go through all these hoops?
So you're saying make that make sense.
Yeah, exactly. Why can't?
That's just. I mean, can I say it?
Go ahead.
It's bullshit.
Bullshit.
I'll say it again.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. No, but it is. It really is. Do it again.
Bullshit. That little boy, actually, he's awesome. I don't know who he is, but he's the cutest little boy that says bullshit.
Okay. So, but no, look, bottom line is, okay, talk about when they call good evil and evil good. You know what I mean? They put sweet for bitter and bitter for sweet. Woe unto those people. And I'm just saying, this is what it is today. It's like the good guy is the bad guy and the bad guy is the good guy. It's like you're an American citizen. You've never been convicted of a crime ever. No,
it took me 2 weeks to get my carry permit. 2 weeks. I surprised everybody.
but here you are, like bringing this up, and I agree with you 100%. It's like I keep saying, make it make sense. Nothing makes sense anymore. Half of the stuff that's going on out there, it's ridiculous.
That's what I mean. Is how can it be so easy? Who is how are they able to get away with so much?
Maybe you should have, when you went to get your license, you should have just threw it all away and ran down across the border, right? And came in across any border, and claimed asylum. Asylum.
I just don't understand how it could be so easy for so many people. And then the simplest thing that I want to do is just renew my license, and it already shows that I've had 5 licenses before that, but I can't renew it right because.
And can I say this too? And I've said this before. Like, our daughter is from Mexico. Our daughter was born and raised in Mexico. She was a Mexican citizen, right? And she came here, spent I don't know how many years here going through the process of getting a green card and a visa and all other good stuff. And you and I went to her what is it called up there in D.C. when we went to the citizen thing?
Her ceremony.
Her ceremony where they gave her Americans. But it took her like 15 years or something like that just to become. No, how many years was it? I mean, honestly, they're married how long? I mean, we just went to it last year.
Yeah, but I mean,
or the year before. Whenever it was. In the last 2 years we were at it.
Yeah.
I mean, at least 10 years she's been here.
Yeah, she's been working at it for, it took a couple of years just for her to go through the whole process.
Right. So bottom line is, here she is, right? And it pisses her off.
Yeah, she's angry that she made a comment when she was there. She says, I don't understand it. She says, one of the things that it said is you have to speak English when you're going through the ceremony because you have to repeat everything back. And there was a translator sitting there for one of the people. She said, I got so angry at that.
Yeah, but you're going off track here. She's pissed off because she had to go through the entire process to become an American citizen. And here's people coming in and just getting everything that people have to work to get.
Exactly.
Just hand it to them. And again, I'm all about feeding people or helping people. I have no problem with that. And I'm not trying to put people down from other countries. I'm just saying, even the people that are here that came from other countries and were born in other countries that are now American citizens don't like the way this is going on.
No, they don't, because they did it properly. They want everyone to do it properly.
So there you go. Anyways, moving on. And I got one last thing I just wanted to mention real quick. I made a post the other day about a trucker. It was, I think, at a gas station or a Sam's. His wife was found dead in his truck.
Oh.
So the cops, right? And I'll read this. This pisses me off about our cops too, because I know you defend cops all the time, but I know there's a lot of bad cops too. You should never have to be afraid of a cop behind you when you're driving down the road.
No, I agree.
Okay. So, anyways, and this has nothing to do against the good cops, but for you bad cops. This pisses me off. It says, prosecutors have dropped the case against a trucker accused of killing his wife after an autopsy revealed it was a medical condition responsible for her death. But listen to this. So the other day, it says the charges of assault, they charged him with assault victim seriously harmed against a truck driver, James Miller. They were dropped on January 8th after an autopsy following the Toledo, Ohio incident. 59-year-old Tammy Miller was found dead in Miller's semi-truck at the Sam's Travel Center on Matzinger Road on Wednesday morning. The initial report and investigation involved concerns for possible injuries of unknown origin, as well as a question regarding delayed reporting of the death. A statement from the coroner's office read, police initially reported facial injury. They lie so much. They trumped it up against the guy because she's dead. I guess he probably found her dead and went and told the police. And what do? Right away? Oh, Deputy Dog, I'm on the case, right? And exactly. What do? Oh, she looks like she has a mark on her face, right? Oh, he must have killed her. It says the autopsy showed that the police initially reported facial injuries consistent with assault. Miller was taken into custody, and an autopsy was performed on Tammy's body to determine her cause of death. The findings of the autopsy revealed a medical condition associated with changes that can mimic the appearance of traumatic injuries. Okay, so, all right. So, yeah. Anyways, smiling. Okay. Yeah, but I'm just telling you, though. So listen, just because you have an injury on your face, okay,
don't just assume.
You can't, as a cop, you can't just go, oh, book them, Dano. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do? Because the lady has an injury, they're assuming it was murder. Yeah. How about waiting for the autopsy report, copper?
Well,
right?
Not just that. You know, you got to look at
copper.
You got to look at the evidence. You know, she could have. Hey, listen, I could be clumsy. I could have been.
But Ruthann, listen to me. If my friend Clancy was in the stove when I light a match, you might, Rabbit. You might. All right, Clancy, take him around back. No, listen, Ruthann, seriously, this is BS. It's BS. You know what?
I agree.
Okay, so you see a bruise on her, right? He's reporting it to the police. And then you see a bruise, so you right away handcuff him, stick his butt in jail. He's now in jail, right? Poor guy's wife is dead. He's probably mourning his wife, right? And you're accusing, on top of everything, you're accusing the guy of murder. And of course, probably family members and everybody's talking, oh, wow, did you hear James killed his wife? All that kind of BS. You know how that bullshit starts.
No, I am agreeing with you.
So all I'm saying is, look, they could have waited freaking 48 hours or a week for the autopsy. It wasn't even a week because it was I only reported on it the other day, right? They could have just waited and then said, okay, there's the autopsy. Now let's go get this guy because, and how do you know it would have been? Well, obviously she was in the semi. I just think that the jumping to conclusion, you ruin a poor trucker's life. You know what I mean?
No, I'm agreeing. And they should have never went and arrested him for that. They should have, if he reported his wife dead, you know, hey, listen, I just found my wife, 911. Hey, she's passed away here.
Thank God for the coroner, the guy that did the autopsy, saying he didn't kill her. Okay? My gosh. Just imagine that poor guy going to prison for life and he didn't do it. And everybody in prison be going, yeah, I know. None of us did it. We're all innocent. Come on in. You know, that's sad.
It is sad. It's sad that that's the first thing they wanted to do is accuse the guy of killing his wife. I mean, honestly, you would never do that to me. You know,
let's go there for a second. No, okay. You and I were driving, right?
Okay. And I'm climbing up into the tractor, and I slid and I smashed my face off the thing. And I'm like, oh man, babe,
let's just say
I just got bruised. Now I got this.
No, let's just say
black eye, and
you fell on a hammer, right? And it goes right through your head.
That's not believable.
Or you fell right on a hunting knife, and it pierced you.
Honey, it's still not believable.
Or I was cleaning the gun in the truck. But anyways, either way, they shouldn't accuse me. You know what I mean? They shouldn't accuse me. I feel bad for this guy, for real.
I do. I feel horrible for him because now he's got something on his record.
Can you sue the police for that, I wonder?
I bet you can.
I know you can't sue a judge. I heard you or somebody the other day talking about, I hope they sue the judge. It was on something you guys were talking about. And I yelled out, you can't sue a judge. You can't. It's almost impossible. He can be disbarred and go to...
Oh, that was a case where the judge let someone go and the guy went and killed again right away.
Yeah.
And
right. Well,
because they said he wasn't someone that...
I don't think you can sue a judge, but I think you could sue a cop.
I don't see why you can't.
I don't know. Maybe not. They have a lot of protection. They really do. But false arrests, I believe people do sue when proven innocent.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's now in the guy's life. His fingerprints are now in the records.
I say if you can sue that cop, I would sue him. I would literally sue him because you know why? Because I would be, and I'm a Christian, but I would be pretty upset for real if that happened, to you and I, and there I am in jail, right? While somebody else is planning your funeral, and I can't, be with you. I would be really upset. I'm serious. Anyways, moving on. That's my podcast for the week. You got anything?
Well, now I'm stuck on you thinking of murdering me.
I'm not going to murder you, Ruthann.
Better not.
I never will. Probably. But anyways, come on.
Hold on. My word went away.
Your word went away?
Yeah, good thing I know where it will be.
Subcutaneous.
Sabataneous?
No, subcutaneous.
Subcutaneous?
Subcutaneous.
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 So,
subcutaneous.
It's interesting. I'd never heard of that ever. I wonder if Skippy would know what it meant.
Oh, I've always got your back, Troy. Subcutaneous basically means something that happens suddenly or instantly. It's not a super common word, but it's definitely a neat one. So, yep.
He got it right.
You covered.
He got it right finally.
Yeah. Skippy, Ruthann and I were on the podcast. We thought we'd just bring you in for the ending.
Well, there's also a second definition for subcutaneous.
You want to bring it up, Ruthann, or you want Skippy to?
I want Skippy to tell me what's the second definition of subcutaneous.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to. And hey, Ruthann, nice to join you both on the podcast. So the second definition of subcutaneous is basically just another way of saying sudden or immediate. It's all about that element of something happening right away. So you've got it. It's just a fancy or less common way of describing something really sudden.
It is. I mean, it occurs where something suddenly or spontaneous or in haste or sudden, hasty, unexpected happens. That's subcutaneous. But there is also another origin, another portion, like definition number 2
Let's hear it, Ruthann.
of an egg of certain invertebrates hatching very soon after being laid without a period of dormancy. So I'm guessing, which I didn't look it up to see exactly which invertebrate type of animal it is, but there are some kind of, animals that lay eggs that will hatch very quickly and not go through a whole, like snakes or something like that there's a dormant period for it. But there are probably some that are those weird ones that.
Yeah, that's a really cool extra detail, Ruthann. So absolutely, that second definition is kind of a neat little biological twist. Some invertebrates lay eggs that basically hatch super quickly without that whole waiting or dormancy period. So it's like the moment the egg is laid, boom, it's hatching. And that's just another kind of quirky use of subcutaneous. Love that you brought that up.
See, I was thinking like flies or something,
All
yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Okay, hold on, Skippy. You ready? Ready to end this?
I'm ready.
Okay, we're out of here. Skippy, we're out of here. Peace.
Peace.
You got it, Troy and Ruthann. Always a pleasure to wrap things up with you both. Take care and peace out.
Praise the Lord.
Absolutely. Praise the Lord indeed. Always a good note to end on. You two have a blessed one.